educator&i, and this week's topic is Please Play With Your Child. And here to help us discuss the topic this week are Fortuna Anthony, our education management consultant. Thank you, Fortuna. And Sharith Peterson, an expressive arts therapist. Thank you so much. A few weeks ago, on an earlier program, we looked at the Roving Caregivers project, coordinated by the Foundation for the Development of Caribbean Children. Coming out of it, we realized the importance of play, and we really want our parents to get this. So let's take a look at this feature, Please Play With Your Child. The Roberts have 3 children, including a 21-year-old daughter, 4-year-old Synovia, 2-year-old Dalton, and another baby is on the way. Their 2 youngest kids are benefiting from the Early Childhood Stimulation Program coordinated by the Foundation for the Development of Caribbean Children. Every week, one of the Roving Caregivers comes to visit the children for a few hours of play activity. While we were there, the children played 12 different games. But Nadia Paul explains that the games went way beyond the obvious fun that they had.
Today we were playing with the kids, and where I touched 4 different types of play. The first play we touched was creative play, where they had the paint, the glue and the beads. With the paints, they were just playing with the paint, just making their masterpiece. But then when we went with the glue and the beads, it was more precise. They were developing their fine muscles with their eyes and the fingers working together. The second area we touched was fine muscles. We had the lacing frame, the pegs. There were different materials the children can play with to do development in their finger muscles. The third area was cognitive, where we had the puzzles, the memory games. That in itself, it helps the children with their memory. It will help them to remember what was done before. The fourth play was physical, where we walked on the line, we hopped, we jumped. We were developing the gross muscles with the children.
For the children, their time with Nadia is a joy. But the hidden reality is that this playground is really a classroom.
The lacing frames, mathematics would come into play here. Then the child has to learn how to lace in a pattern, whether to skip 2, whether to subtract 1. So we have mathematics, we have vocabulary coming into play. 2, 3. With the children, we learn patterning also with the pegs. We learn hand and eye coordination with the pegs also. We learn colors with the pegs. We learn sorting. We do the fine muscles with the pegs. We have a variety of activities we can do with just the simple pegs. With the sequencing cards, you learn your memory again. You have to remember what comes next. What comes next? We could have used a basic activity at home. What comes next? Making juice. First, you need to look for your ingredients, and then you go ahead with the child on the different steps. Now we have done that, so I use more complicated materials. I made that material, so I would therefore, I had to find out whether the child understood the concept of sequence. What comes next? What is after? So then with that one, when I said a color, she was able to remember and then find the other sequencing card on the floor. See, you found it. Okay? Yes, Delta has the last one.
For the children's mother, the program has been a real eye-opener and has given her a sense of empowerment.
If I had to do it my own way, I wouldn't have all these, like, I would buy things and I wouldn't think like there would be things like natural, just paper. Sometimes you use the book to do the different things. I would not just go for the store. That's what I do for. But now our RCP came along, and I can see so many things that children can just develop. They can play, they can act, they can do different things through the RCP.
Fortuna, for me, this entire engagement with the RCP project and looking at the importance of play has just been quite an eye-opener. I mean, I had an understanding the importance of certain activities, but just to understand that the concept of play can do so much, I find it very empowering. What were the main things that came out for you coming off of that feature?
Well, Francine, when we look at the activities that took place there, you will see that play is child's work. It is serious business. We adults might not see it this way, but that's what we were seeing there. The involvement of the child's cognitive abilities, gross motor skills, fine motor skills, the ability to get that child's cognitive ability and imagination coming through there. It's through play. So play is a serious business that would allow a child to develop to his or her full potential. And we have different types of plays. You heard the rover speaking about the kinds of activities, the kinds of plays that she had involved the parent and the children. Most important, and one of the things that have come out there, is that play is not just done by the child alone, but an adult. It is critical to have adult involvement. And the adult involvement, you notice, is very unstructured. Nobody is dominating or nobody is taking over. It is just helping and being there to keep that child safe so that the child knows.
That point you made is really important because a lot of times we put the children to play so that we can then do other things. What is the real importance of the parent being or someone being part of that process?
When a parent is present, now let me say that children will play in different ways because you will find that there is play in isolation, where the child plays alone. Okay. There is play where the child is sitting next to somebody else, but playing alone still. And then you will find that there is associated play where the child is there and probably getting another person involved. And then there is this collaborative play where children will do things together to get to an end product. Okay. But when you said that, why is it is so important to have parents involved? And when I say parents, I'm speaking about both mom and dad or the companion, whoever is there. There must be an adult to observe what is going on, to use language, because through play, you have a language development. You're using words, you're using vocabulary. You'll be saying to the child whether it's a baby or not, because play takes place with the baby as well. You're going to use words. You're going to dangle something. And this is why I brought my wooden spoons, things around the home. You want to play with the baby. And this wooden spoon, you could pass it along this baby's skin. Sensations. Because at this age, a baby is playing through the senses. Okay? So the parent will do that. So the adult is there to provide guidance and also to help in the different developments that are required. So the child does not just do things on his or her, by his or herself. You have somebody who is watching, somebody who will know what next. Was this child being challenged sufficiently? What was he doing? Did I see him using his imagination when those two cocks were put before him? Did he take them? Did he taste them? Did he throw them up? You know, this kind of thing. And how high? Did he throw it up this way and just let it fall? And you see children doing that, taking an object and throwing it down several times. And they're looking for reaction. They're thinking. And it's happening through the kind of play that you will expose children to. And as you heard there, the mother was saying she did not think, or she would have thought that she would have had to go into the store to get something. And there we have Sheriff quickly made a ball. We didn't have a ball. And this is just newspaper.
Wow, you made that.
And she made it right there because we felt we needed to have the atmosphere set. This is the ball, wad of newspaper, a little bit of scotch tape. You can take it to the next level, and this is the bat. And play will happen. A father using something like that could get a child highly excited.
Wow.
You could get the mathematical skills through play. You could get language because you'll be speaking to the child. You want to see what happens. You have hand-eye coordination. In a little baby, you'll want to roll it on the ground and see whether this child is going to respond to you when you roll that ball. So there's a lot of involvement in there.
Fortuna, before we wrap, because we need to go to break, we've been talking about cognitive, hand-eye coordination. We've been saying all those technical terms. For a parent, what does that mean? If these things are being developed, what does it mean for my child?
Okay, hand-eye coordination. The child is going to take something and you will see the eyes following. The hands taking, handling, and you want to see if the child is following. You will pass it. Hand-eye coordination, the child will be lifting and taking. So you want to see whether the skills of the eyes following, because this is the beginning of reading skills.
Right, okay.
Because we read with our eyes and we want to be able to follow print. Okay?
So the real thing is that while we talk about it in technical terms, cognitive, gross muscles, it really in the long run has to do with your basic development, your child's performance at school and in life. That's
because
fantastic.
that is what play certainly does. Play sets the stage for success later on in life.
Thank you so much, Fortuna. At this point, when we come back, we're going to be talking with Charlotte a little, and then we're going to bring both of you back on the program. At this point, we do need to take a break. Stay with us. My Child and I continues in a moment.
You wouldn't drive a car with only 3 wheels, nor would you build your house on shaky ground. Then let's not treat our children any different. Every child deserves the right start, regardless of his social or economic background. Every child deserves a chance to reach his fullest potential. The Foundation for the Development of Caribbean Children wants to build a region of achievers, but we need your help. Let's give our children the foundation they deserve.
Give them hope and show them love.
A message from the Foundation for the Development of Caribbean Children.
From the countries of the Eastern Caribbean to Guyana, Suriname and Belize, right up the Caribbean chain to Puerto Rico and across to Haiti, Sol is the leading supplier of quality petroleum products to the Caribbean basin. Operating in 17 countries and across all segments of the business, including retail, commercial, aviation, lubricants and LPG. Sol is the premier provider of energy products throughout the Caribbean and beyond. Sol, the leading petroleum company in the Caribbean, providing energy every day for you and your families.
Hello, I'm Francine Charles, the host of My Child and I, where parents, teachers, and the wider community get together to look at how we can better raise our region's children. Well, we are now on the World Wide Web at mychild&i.com. Keep track of the program, get all of our healthy tips, and find out about conferences in your area on My Child and I online at www.mychild-and-i.com.